Hello everyone, we are back on the blog this week and I cannot wait to dive into this topic with you today. For those of you who are just tuning into my blog, my name is Krista Davis. I am a certified professional coach and I teach women professionals how to love or leave their jobs. Today's topic was directly inspired by one of my client sessions that I had last week. This client in particular is navigating a very intense burnout work culture, and we were looking at how to really enhance her leadership skills and take some of her power back while she's in the process of leaving the job. And when we were talking about boundaries, the word integrity came up. And she said that integrity was something that was very important to her. She always aspired to treat her colleagues, clients, everyone with respect and kindness, even if it wasn't necessarily reciprocated. As we were talking about this and boundaries, I asked her, I said, well, what about integrity for yourself? We began to look at this a little bit further in terms of how she was really respecting herself and treating herself with kindness and love in some of the interactions that she was dealing with at work. And we started talking about saying no to certain things that really weren't in her job description or were a burden for her to carry on. And she shared with me that she could say no when there was a specific organizational policy that supported it. So I said to her, well, what are your policies? What are your policies for how people treat you, for how you treat yourself, and for how you want to show up? For all my recovering perfectionists, people pleasers, high achievers out there, give me a hand raise if you can relate to this. Sacrificing ourselves in the name of perhaps overworking, saying yes to too many things, or feeling like we have to prove ourselves in some way. Yes, I have been there myself, and it doesn't feel too good. And the narrative we tell ourselves can be very tricky because we may feel like we're doing the right thing by working harder, taking on more, doing more. But really, at the end of the day, we're sacrificing probably the most important thing, which is our relationship with ourselves. We train people how to treat us. And if we don't set those boundaries, we can end up in some sticky situations. So with that being said, if you can relate to this, I have 3 tools for you to explore and to think about, and thinking about really how to start setting boundaries and how to start respecting yourself. First is taking an audit and looking at where you might be putting your well-being last. Where are you saying yes to too many things? Where are you overworking? And what's that really about? What's the story you're telling yourself about why you can't say no? What's going on there? 2, I want you to write out your policies, just like my client is doing this week before our next session. What are your policies for how you respect yourself, for how you act in integrity, self-integrity for yourself? What are those principles and policies that are non-negotiable? I want you to think of your policies like this. If there was an important policy at work, I'm guessing that you wouldn't just say, oh, I don't care, I'm just going to ignore it. That's how you should be treating your own policies. This will give you a sense of how to best set boundaries with others. Third, what are the proactive behaviors that you can be engaging in to best support yourself? What I mean by this is sometimes we do too much, say yes too much, and then we find ourselves burnt out, and then we're being reactive, and we have to then take care of ourselves, oversleep, we don't feel motivated, whatever that might be. what are the things that you can be doing on a regular basis proactively to put you and your well-being first so that you can best show up for others? Now, this is taking the story that we're often sold in society, which is work hard, then take care of yourself. What would happen if you put your well-being first and then went out to work after? So switching the model. Your well-being isn't a reward for working hard. It is a priority. It should be the center of everything that you're doing. Work on those 3 things, and I would love to hear what you come up with. We are going to be doing a follow-up post in the next few weeks about, now that you have your policies, you have a sense of the proactive behaviors you want to implement, how do you actually set these boundaries with others and set these boundaries with yourself? So stay tuned for that post, and I would love to hear from you actually. What are your specific questions about setting these boundaries, enacting these policies, and really acting in integrity for yourself? So leave your questions in the comments, send me an email directly, and I'll be happy to answer them in our follow-up post. Thanks, everyone.